No, just make Henry a floating orb since his true form is incomprehensible. Well, it's not his true form, but I'm like saying like I think like maybe like a powerful form. You know what I mean? But as you're right, his true form is beyond our comprehension. It's not. We cannot put it into picture. We cannot paint it. It's impossible to know what his true form is. It's beyond human comprehension, beyond human imagination, beyond human theorization. Okay. Scorpion 451 is our next author. I'm pretty sure we had them a couple of times, but this is an author that doesn't have an office page, so we just go see what they have, and which the next SP. Even my dad fears Henry. I would love if you ask your dad, are you afraid of Henry? He's like, no. What the fuck? Why would I? And you're like, blasphemy. Okay, Scorpion 551 wrote Strong Interaction Amplifier. I love how the moment I read that, Tom Jones sex bomb is running on. that song is a strong interaction amplifier. Let me tell you what, boys. Am I right, boys? Am I right, boys? Tom Jones sex bomb. It does amplify the interactions now, let me tell you. Okay, sorry. Sure, Afro. Okay, nobody's gonna join me on my little joke. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. The original 3 prototype instances of SCP-2871 are to be maintained in an archival state for study. Operation of these instances is prohibited as they possess multiple design flaws. I think it does have a thank you. No, thank you. See Addendum 3, Failure Analysis of Pre-Containment SCP-2871. When modified to address these issues and operate under control conditions, SCP-2871 presents little risk and has application of interest to multiple Foundation departments. Manufacture and operation of modified SCP-2871 instances has been authorized at this time. No more than 1 kilogram of matter should be exposed to -1 during a single activation. 1 kilo of boogers. Not again! Personnel are reminded that atmospheric density at sea level is 1.3 kilograms per meter cubed. Exposure of elements with atomic mass greater than 28 to -1 requires site-directed authorization, including isotopes thereof. Instances of SCP-2871 should not be moved during operation. Personnel should not stand. I'm actually getting heated. I mean heated, I'm getting warm, not heated, I think I'm getting angry. Getting some cold air. Woo-wee! Personnel should not stand or walk between the device's aperture and -1. Alright, description. SCP-2871 is a device capable of amplifying the range of gluon-mediated interactions between baryons within a small targeted regions. Commonly referred to in physics as a strong interaction. The class of subatomic particles which includes protons and neutrons, the primary components of atomic nuclei. Listen to sex bomb that gets heated. Don't know why I found that funny. That is actually a very fitting moment of me like, man, I'm getting kind of warm while sex bomb is on. That is... No, I'm not going with people what Zeno just said. You guys can read it. I'm not going to say that out loud. Now, this is hard sci-fi. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's see what the... Like, I'm only like... The moment I read how, like, strong interaction between protons and neutrons, I'm like, oh god. We're going that direction. I'm always worried when it goes that direction because I'm not smart. And then second, yeah, that's true. That is my iTunes really is like... What, me? No, I didn't do anything. I'm not planning anything. What are you talking about? When powered and activated, an instance of SCP-2871 generates -1, a spherical region of altered physics up to 0.4 meters in diameter, projected to a range up to 500 meters from the device. -1 is not itself visible or tangible, but When in the presence of an atmosphere, a faint scintillation is produced at its boundaries. Within -1, the range of gluon-mediated interactions are increased by slightly over 5 orders of magnitude. While this results in a number of secondary phenomena, two are of primary relevance. The distance at which atomic nuclei experience mutual attraction expands to ranges comparable to atomic radii. Oh, okay. Due to the force inversion effects, the size of atoms remain relatively unaltered. Typical reduction radiuses are between 10 to 30%, similar to the reductions seen in lambda lithium. As a result, incidental collision between atoms can cause two nuclei to fuse, a phenomenon normally seen only in high-energy collisions such as those achieved in particle accelerators. Oh shit. Heavy atomic nuclei and exotic particles are rendered significantly more stable within the confines of -1, not the particle accelerator. Only the Flash can do that. The item is starting to get heated as well. Maybe that's a sign to get some play. I remember there was some one SCP that you read that was an anime girl, but had insane mathematical equation in contained procedures. Oh yeah, I think I read that. Isn't that a future one? I read like one anime girl that was like, that only popped up when you like Google search something and she would just exist. She's like, hey. But it can be, because it does sound familiar, but I'm not quite sure if I did read that or not. Oh yeah, no, yeah, you're right. In the contained procedures, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Particles existing -1 are indistinguishable from non-anomalous particles of the same mass and composition. Stable isotopes will remain intact when exiting -1 or when SB2871 is deactivated. Nuclei which cannot be maintained by unmodified strong nuclear interaction undergo decay consistent with standard model prediction. Does this mean you can accidentally like create a nuke inside a room? Is that what I'm reading right now? Is that possible, or is that like, does that have, I guess that it requires different particles and different chemistry, right? Individual components of SB2871 instances are non-anomalous and largely consist of off-the-shelf consumer and industrial electronics in a layout loosely resembling the clystrons found in large telecommunication transmitters, radar arrays, and linear particle accelerators. Compact combination emitters, tuners, amplifiers of high energy electromagnetic radiation. Can I get to play with? No. This is basically in real life science Gary's mod, basically, yeah. On a purely functional level, known contributing factors to the device's anomalous properties include the unusual and convoluted shape of the resonating cavity, a complex pattern of knots and braids formed by the internal wiring and the relative location of several unpowered, seemingly extraneous internal components. It is considered safe, but I feel like it's only considered safe because you have to activate that shit, so I will not let you play with it. Notably, powering said components will cause SB2871 to cease operation. Exactly how SB2871 instances produce -1 is incompletely understood at this time. While highly cooperative, the individual research staff of Postmodern Alchemy Ltd. have each provided internally consistent but often mutually exclusive explanation based variously on thaumaturgical paradigms, novel applications of known parascience, and reinterpretation of discredited scientific theories. This situation was apparently cultivated and encouraged by company administration as methodological diversity. Foundation research pursuant of EX status for SB2871 is ongoing. You know what you'll do, mechanic. You're onto something. You probably erase all snakes in the 2,000 meter radius. Can you imagine if your friend joins now in this? I was about to say the same thing. I was like, if she joins now, she'd be like, what the fuck? I went from one SB that I did not understand to another one that I don't understand. And I'll be like, welcome. Maybe next time, make sure you're on time and read about the snot that's alive. Addendum 1, recovery log. The following events took place on 2010. Event in italics indicate reconstruction of events prior to the arrival of MTF Gamma 103. These times are approximate and certain events with possible but unconfirmed relevance are included. So, yeah, now I understand. It doesn't create nukes. It's literally... Okay, I understand now. Yeah, because particle accelerator... Yeah, makes sense. Can you erase Joe for me? Joe Mama? Probably not. She's too powerful to be erased. Not as powerful as Henry. But, well, you know. Close. 9 o'clock, most modern alchemy staff initiate testing of SB2871 prototype. 9:15. No, you ruined the joke mechanic. I was going Fluff match. I'm sorry. But you wrote it down in the perfect moment for me to read chat. So you have waited until I start reading all these things. 9:15. SB2871 prototype fails to respond to commands for several seconds. 9:30. SB2871 prototype experiences ground impact during hardware adjustment. Damage deemed superficial. 10:10. Postmodern alchemy IT staff begin maintenance on local wireless network. Influence on subsequent events is unknown. 10:20. SB2871 prototype targets inappropriate coordinates during this test cycle. Testing is suspended for review of control system code. 10:30. PA staff become aware that SB2871 instance failed to respond to deactivation command when monitoring equipment located near the intended target detects hazardous levels of radiation. Further attempts to remotely deactivate or retarget SB2871 also fail. 10:35. As radiation prevents access to the device on board or overrides, the decision is made to manually cut power to the SB2871 instance, despite a risk of damage to the instance hardware. The hardwire power supply, however, complicates this course of action. 10:40. PA staff locate capacitor bank providing power to SB2871 instance and begin manual shutdown and discharge process. 10:45. PA staff became aware of radioluminescence in the vicinity of -1. Suggestion to sever the cable via fire axe is rejected due to the extreme voltage and current. Yeah, don't fucking do that. Never in any level of science, if there's a machine involved and they're attached with something through cable, never suggest to me, what if we take an axe and cut the cable in half? Oh, you want to fucking die? Like what? What? What is wrong with you? I don't know. I thought that would maybe resolve the issue. First of all, that's more property damage than resolving the issue, if anything. If one day you have SB reading stream on April Fools, you should do a smash or pass of the SB you read that day. No. Watch you say that, and then when I do have an April stream, it literally gives me one SCP that's like it's a perfect woman. It's a perfect woman, blah 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 blah. It's like an anomalous fits whatever you think of, and I'm over here like, shit, I should have done a smash or pass, and just pass everybody else and smash that one. Like fuck, why didn't I listen to Casabon? 10:57. Heat array detects a minor sustained emission of wide-band radiation from a remote area of West Texas. Event is automatically flagged as potentially anomalous. A Foundation maintained a network of microsatellites and ground-based sensors equipped with scintillation counters with wide-spectrum imaging cameras and in-cell seismic topography systems dedicated to high-energy event detection. That's why it's called heat. 11. Signal strength continues to increase. 11 again. Particle-1 is visually detected by PA staff. Staff determined that deactivating the SB2871 instance is no longer advisable, and a board shutdown of capacitor bank. 11:10. Source triangulated to a complex building identified in public records as the property of startup company Postmodern Alchemy Ltd. 11:13. Emission strength and duration exceed plausible limits of non-nuclear sources. Nuclear sources are ruled out by secondary criteria. 10:34. Anomalous activity deemed probable. MTF Gamma 103 radium girls dispatched to the site via helicopter. 12:7. MTF Gamma 103 arrives at location. 12:8. Several individuals exit the compound and approach the landing site bearing a white undershirt tied to a broom. Individuals inquire from a distance if MTF is from TOC or SPC agents authorized to identify themselves as Foundation agents on presumptions of open veil scenario. Individuals proceed to exuberantly greet MTF agents, identifying Postmodern Alchemy Ltd. as a paratech company, and inquire as to how swiftly containment of company staff can begin. 1216. Further staff members of Postmodern Alchemy exit the compound bearing a second makeshift white flag, 3 non-functional prototypes of SB2871, several tablets and laptops, and boxes of physical documentation regarding SB2871. Individuals attempt to surrender these items while providing a detailed additional verbal information regarding SB2871 and the incident in progress. As with the previous staff, these individuals expressed great enthusiasm for the prospect of containment, one attempting to embrace several members of MTF Gamma 103 before being dissuaded. 1221. Members of MTF Gamma 103, the sufficiently calm staff of Postmodern Alchemy to extract a coherent explanation of the situation. 1224. Team leader Agent... B informs command they are invoking emergency discretion and proceeding under the assumption that the claims were genuine? Yeah. Agent cites the hypothetical consequence of inaction and the increasingly vehement request by Postmodern Alchemy staff to be transported to a containment site as far away as possible. 1231. MTF specialists are escorted to a testing range containing a 4 functional prototype of SB2871, maintaining an instance of -1 at the base of a large earthen backstop approximately 2 meters behind its intended target. 1240. Gamma 103 specialists estimate mass of -2 to exceed 4 kilograms and concur with Postmodern Alchemy staff's decision not to deactivate the SB2871 instance. 13.3. Second helicopter arrives. Postmodern Alchemy staff evacuated to site. 3 members of research staff elect to remain and assist MTF Gamma 103. 1337. External control of SB2871 instance reestablished via onboard override controls. Agent Q and PA staff member incur 2nd and 3rd degree burns in the process. Agent Q military for severe radiation exposure. 1416-2 estimated to exceed 5 kg mass. 1431 method of dissipating -2 in stages through staggered contractions of -1 is devised. 1437 remaining MTF Gamma 103 members and 2 PA staff are extracted to site. 1450 active SB2871 instance and -2 protocol neutralized. Okay, what do you guys are saying? What's smash the SB that's called Logan? For I wanted to type like since we got under this route, I would smash 2792-2. Watch him specifically pass that one tomorrow. I thought you said absolutely the best. Okay. You guys were still talking about Smash or Pass, so I didn't miss anything important. While reprimanded for the destruction of the functional instance of SCP-2871, MTF Gamma 103 was also commended for resolving the situation with minimal casualties and with relatively minor damage to and irradiation of the surrounding region. Explained to media and local officials that the detonation of a large experimental refinery producing aviation-grade biofuel from tobacco cultivation waste. In light of the staff corporation, you already know the answer. I don't even have to read the question, and you already know the answer. Following the incident, the complete destruction of the company's facilities, and the individuals marked this interest in continuing the project. The surviving employees of Postmodern Alchemy Ltd. Have been released on a probationary basis and are to be monitored for future recruitment or containment. Alright. Don't you dare disrespect Smash or Pass. No, I disrespect whatever the hell I want. Unless it is somebody, unless it's another person whose life is important. Then I won't disrespect that. But Smash or Pass? That's easy to be disrespectful. According to the author, the idea from this SB came from this thread called SB ideas that would never ever work. This one specifically being any kind of SCP written entirely in the hard science language with no practical examples or implications. I see. So they on purpose try to make it sound as over-the-top scientific. I see how it is. I love how we went from like, yeah, I had a bit of a fever dream while writing this to somebody, but like, I just wanted to sound as scientifically posh as possible. Like, that's the contrast of writing an SCP It literally is that, right? Like, either A, your imagination went buck wild and you decided, like, let me write that down. Or B, you're like, I'm gonna just sound irrationally scientific. To the extent where you just look at the log and be like, what did I just read? what was all that about? Okay, my friend just told me too tired to join us, so we don't have to wait for her anymore. They just literally just wrote this very second. Because I was about to check like when, like, what is going on? No! Oh, yeah, it's a shame. Darn shame. It's just us, lads. It's just us.